Hi, Smiles Red Songbird in New York City, and you're looking at a picture of a farther part of the sun. A very exciting discovery to share with you. I am Eve and Einstein's mind, and others, Tesla and Socrates, etc. But today we're just dealing with the Einstein mind and Eve. The question is, genetics and DNA the same thing? Genes contain DNA, however you ever say this word, deoxyribonucleic acid. That's what genes contain. DNA is the chemical basis of heredity. Heredity decoded. Heaven, energy, her, Eve, energy, daughter, I-sex is pleasure. Where's that? Pleasure presented, tie. Okay. Heaven energy, her, Eve energy, the daughter of the sun is example of pleasure tied to the sun. Tie decoded. True pleasure presented energy to the sovereign of the universe. Universe. The sun, you got this, is the sovereign of the universe. Okay, that's why they said Eve is the queen of the universe. Okay, I decoded genes. DNA is in genes. Genes, G for generational, E for Eve energy, and Baba G, who is Jesus Christ, who is Gurinder Singh, and the immaculately conceived son in me, conceived with the sun. His name is Giancarlo Arturo, and 3 grandchildren, actually it's 4 grandchildren. You have Jandara Ranziger, Seth Ranziger. Jandara was Uncle Sam. She was also Shirley Temple, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rosie the Riveter, and Baba Jamal Singh, a saint. Seth Ranziger was the saint Swamiji of Agra. He was also a disciple of Tulsi Sahib, who was Einstein Eve, and he was Mr. Rogers, Alexander Graham Bell, and he projected himself as Josh Groban. Another grandchild of the sun is Lou Ranziger, who was the poet saint Mirabai, who was also the virtual saint Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And the 4th grandchild, the picture's over there somewhere, is Ostara Gloria. Oh, let me get up and show you Ostara. There she is. There she is. Okay, this is Ostara Gloria. And she was Hiawatha. And she was, who else was she? My mind's a blank. She was another Indian. She was Hiawatha. Eve was Pocahontas, right. And, Chief Sitting Bull. That's who Ostara Gloria was. This is the son's granddaughter. This is the son. The sovereign of the universe. It's in writing. Okay, what else? And like I said, Gurinder Singh. This is Jesus Christ. Gurinder Singh is the son of the sun. There's another picture of Gurinder Singh, the son of the sun, Radha-Swami, Lord of the soul. And the baby that the sun put in me. Well, this is a baby Jesus Christ put in me Ariel Elizabeth Michelle. And I got, I must have taken down a picture representative of the baby of Giancarlo. There's his name. Giancarlo Arturo is in me too. I have twins in me. Both of them are immaculate conceptions. One from the Son, my father, and one from my brother and husband, Jesus Christ, Govinda Singh. Neither one of them laid a hand on me. Govinda Singh said, I said, you are sacred to me. He said, you are sacred to me, so sacred. I cannot put you beneath me. I made a baby in you with our eyes merging, not our lower bodies. Okay. See, what else do I have on this paper? The Son told Einstein, Eve, that exponential is the counterpart of his love for him, because he's Einstein. He's Eve and Einstein. Okay, heredity. Should I do it one more time? Heaven energy, her Eve energy, daughter of the Son, pleasure presented, Eve energy, true tie to the Son. Should I summarize it? Son's tie to Eve is pleasurable. And that's what Einstein wanted to know. He said, I want to know the mind of God so I can feel what God feels. So he was intuitively saying, does God love me? Does he feel love for me? And you found out that as Eve, Einstein, God receives pleasure from his love, so much pleasure, exponential pleasure. And he said to me that I am his star. I said, you are my star, So I understand what he means. He means the reason he wants me to stay on the earth is because if I were to return to the heavens to be with him, to be in him, I would merge in him, and he would not be able to see me differentiated. But on the earth, he can see me. He is an eye, the third eye. He can see me. It seems like he should be called the first eye. But anyway, he's the all-seeing eye. And he can see me as I walk around shopping in Duane Reade and getting coffee from Starbucks and a vegetarian sandwich from Subway and vegetable bowls from Chipotle and Indian food from my favorite restaurant on 9th Avenue and 20th Street in Manhattan. And he can see me when I go to Coney Island, swinging the swings. Let's go to Coney Island. Let's take a ride. Let's go to Coney Island before high tide. I wrote that song a long time ago and I love it. I used to take my children to Brighton Beach and Coney Island on Sundays after satsang. Satsang is a meeting with the Guru, Jesus Christ. Okay, have I told you everything? Oh, Finding Nemo, that movie? My nickname was Minnow when I was a child. So Finding Nemo is about Nemo's father finding him. Minnow is finding her father, and he is the sovereign of the universe. How about that? Well, I'm so happy, and Einstein can be content now. And this is Adam, who has he was an ape when he first self-created. And then he evolved, and he met Eve because she came to Earth to rescue him from loneliness. He screamed when he found out he had created himself and he didn't create any friends. He didn't know how to create anybody else. And so he screamed to the universe, and she was in the ocean of light. And she was stirred, her sympathies were stirred, and her energies gathered to form a woman. And a woman, WOMB/IN, a woman. And she flew to the earth to be with the entity that was so alone and in such misery. And he beat her and raped her and kicked her because she was an animal, an ape. That's how he knew how to relate. But over the millions of years, he has evolved into a very fine man. And their love has withstood the years of time. And she's blind to the pain she left behind. And so that's Adam. It was ATOM, now he's ADAM, and now he's Michael Bublé is his name. And so you got Adam and Eve. All right. So I think that's it. Einstein's a happy man, and Eve's a happy woman, because I've spent 70 years feeling unloved by anyone, because my mother didn't love me. Excuse me. And my father didn't love me. My mother said she tried to abort me. She never wanted me. She told me this when I was 4 years old. And she said her ears started to ring like dinner bells, which alarmed her, which is why she stopped the abortion. And then when I was born and the nurse handed me to her, she said, "Oh no, take her away, she's too light." Of course I was light. I'm the daughter of light and sound. The sovereign. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's Mild Red Song. We're so happy today. I've made a monumental discovery that the truth is in writing. You see, it's not just oral. It is written. Okay, and I hope to present this to you in a musical. Govinda Singh told me to write a musical. And I've named it tentatively, Mr. and Mrs. Jesus Christ, her story. Because he said, it's ladies' chance. Men had their turn. It's women's turn. So that's why I said instead of his story, history, it's her story, her story. And his other is this his grandson? Oh, these are his great-grandchildren. These are the son's great-grandchildren. His grandchildren is a great-grandchild. His grandchildren are Sing Bird Song. And I have a picture of him playing guitar when he was Jimi Hendrix. He was also Mozart, George Gershwin, King Menelaus, King Arthur, King Charlemagne, King Saul. He was Richard Rogers. It was all these great musicians and kings. And this is his other granddaughter, the son's granddaughter, Robin Birdsong, who was Queen Victoria. And this is Prince Albert, Prince Consort, was her husband when she was Queen Victoria. And she was King James, who did the King James version of the Bible. She was Galileo, who proved Copernicus's theory that the sun is the center of the universe. And they put him in jail, the Catholic Church did, and kept him there for 8 years till he died in house arrest. And she was Michelangelo. She was Dr. Spock. She was Dr. Seuss. She was my other mother when I was a child, Aunt Donnie. And Singh was Brother Wright. They were married, man and wife. And he was a projection of Jesus Christ. Wow. So you see what's happening is all the pieces are fitting together. And I'm starting to feel tremendous relief of sadness, and and relieved of the worry that I wasn't loved by anyone. And come to find out, I was loved by the most important one, the sun. Okay, now I'm going to stop talking and post this to YouTube. I did another video about this, and I was more jumping around and giggling and happy and everything, but I forgot to indicate that about the genes being in Eve and Baba G, Jesus Christ, going to sing, and Giancarlo Arturo, and the grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I forgot this information. Generational Eve energy source. Genes show the generational Eve energy source. It's in her heredity. She's a daughter of the sun, and he's most pleased with her. Okay, it's Mild Red Songbird in New York City. I have reason to celebrate. I got a cup of coffee. I'm gonna drink my coffee. Black with half and half, no sugar. How could that be black with half and half? No, it's not the way to order. It's just coffee, half and half, no sugar. Sugar is addictive. So is caffeine, huh? Well, that's okay. I like it. Okay, I'm just going. I'll talk to you later when I have more. I don't know what more important discovery I could make than the fact that I am loved by my Father. So that's what Einstein wanted to know. Intuitively, he wanted to know if his father loved him. Okay, so long.